Hello, my name is John Blackburn, and here's my persuasive speech. This is a topic that has been debated for many years with lots of different opinions, and this topic being, which is better, movies or books? I am here to persuade my audience on how watching movies over reading books is better. I enjoy movies more because personally I don't like reading books. I never have, and who knows if I ever will. I enjoy reading ESPN articles and other sports stuff, but when it comes to books, that's just not for me. I'm going to cover the origin of movies and books, which I consider to be the same, as well as bring up a counter argument for why people believe books are better. And then I'm going to take a deep dive into my opinions to justify my reasoning for why movies are superior. First, we'll start with origins and the counter argument. For origins, I believe both stem from the same beginning, which is storytelling. Storytelling has advanced throughout the centuries, just like most technology. Here's the origin for writing, according to Melissa Mendoza from reporter.edu on May 1st, 2015. There's evidence of written symbols that date back to about 9,000 years ago. The first written stories were manually transcribed, whether on paper, stone, or clay. As described above, writing began as drawings, but over time changed into script. This transcribed and script is how books were able to form. Further advancement developed into cinema. The beginning of movies, I believe, were born out of technological advancements. Here are the technological advancements according to Melissa Mendoza from the same article as above. The use of technology has shaped the way that we interact with others and how we tell stories. Starting from around the year 1800, technology has contributed to the creation of photography, motion pictures, telephones, radio, digital media, and social media. As I stated above, both were born out of storytelling. Here's my counter argument that I see and believe with most as to why people believe books are better. It is often said that books bring more detail, which I believe because it allows your mind to wander a little more, as well as have more of a creative imagination about what is taking place. While I understand people's opinions and ideas and believe with them that on some of the points on why books are better, overall I believe movies are better, and here are some reasons to justify my opinion. First, we'll start with books take too long. Movies cut out the unnecessary stuff that books don't. To understand why books take so long, here we're going to dive into the amount of time really that it takes. The suggested word total for adult novels, according to Simon Sambucini and colleagues of the Writer's Digest from October 24th, 2016, suggests that, now speaking broadly, you can have as few as 71,000 words and as many as 109,000 words for your book. That is the total range. When it dips below 80,000, it might be perceived as too short, not giving the reader enough. It seems as though going over 100,000 is all right, but try not to go over by much. That's the average for a novel today. Now that you have learned and the suggested word total, let's dive into the average words per minute we can read. According to Paul Newuck from Irish Reading on May 29th, 2018, many resources indicate that the average reading speed of most adults is around 200 to 250 words per minute. College students, which is us, probably because they practice reading more, I don't think we do, move that pace up to a notch around 300 words per minute. So let's do the math on how long it would take to read a 71,000 word book and a 109,000 word book. First, we will use what Mr. Nowak believes to be the average words per minute for college students, which is 300. We'll start with a 71,000 word book. 71,000 words equal roughly 237 minutes, which equals roughly 4 hours of straight reading. If we use 200 words per minute, which is on the slower end for the average adult, we get 355 minutes, which equals almost 6 hours of straight reading. Now let's switch to a longer book. A 109,000 word book equals 360, which is read at 300 words per minute, equals 363 minutes, which equates to around 6 hours of straight reading. If we move back to the slower end of 200 words per minute, we get 545 minutes total, which is just over 9 straight hours of reading. Now, when it compares to movies, that's way longer. Movies average 90 to 120 minutes. Now think about how much easier it is to cut out an hour and a half to 2 hours in a day for a movie. And that, if books are just read straight, we get the time period between 4 hours and 9 hours. And if not read straight, that can take days, weeks, and months to get that whole thing done. I also believe it's easier to gain more exposure and knowledge from movies since they're much shorter. A good way to spend that hour and a half to 2 hours is watching movies with friends and family. There are many perks to watching movies with your family members. Here are some perks to watching movies with family members, according to a DMCI Communities article on May 14, 2015. Number 1, strengthens family bonds. Number 2, promotes academic success. 3, lessens behavioral problems among children. 4, results in less violent kids. 5, lowers risk for substance abuse. 6, boosts self-confidence. 7, provides greater intimacy among parents. 8, lessens sibling rivalries. 9, increases trust among family members. 10, improves social and communication skills of children. If you ask me, these are all very important perks gained from watching movies collectively as a family. Now let's talk about watching movies with friends. If you ask me, I see way more enjoyment in watching movies with friends compared to reading books. If you read books with friends, oftentimes you read collectively as a group, and that takes too long. Some people's reading pace is different than others, and it's also just easier to accomplish watching movies with everyone's different schedule. Like I said in the beginning, movies are better than books. Throughout my speech, I stated many facts and gave plenty of reasons as to why movies are better than books. I hope that I gave you plenty to think about on this often debated topic, and maybe I even changed some of your opinions. Currently, we have plenty of time to watch both movies and read books, so you can decide which is better for yourself. Thank you.